Turkey. Affirmative. Contention 1. The United States stores Contention 1. Inheritance. The United States stores tactical nuclear weapons in Turkey. These constitute a substantial military presence. Landman and England 2009. The rising settlement for the removal of U.S. Turkey nuclear weapons from Turkish territory. There have been public expressions of resentment towards the U.S. military presence in Turkey ever since the lead up to the U.S. war with Iraq. The United States insisted on government allowing American troops to use Turkey as a staging post. Limited permission was granted after heavy debates and delay in Turkish parliament. Turkey's location has added an element of both risk and opportunity to the NATO nuclear sharing. Contention 2. Harms. Scenario A. U.S.-Turkey relations. First, U.S.-Turkey relations are low because U.S. is pressuring Turkey to support Iran sanctions. Financial Times 2010. The U.S. is stepping up pressure on Turkey to back new sanctions against Iran, highlighting the difficulties Washington faces in forging a consensus on Tehran's nuclear program. Turkey remains unconvinced about imposing more sanctions, and its relations with the U.S. are strained. Ankara's response is all the more significant as the country is presently in the UN Security Council and as a NATO member. We do not need them to label Iran. We need them to work with us and make sure that Iran does not become nuclear weapons capable. Second, the presence of tactical nuclear weapons in Turkey is destroying U.S.-Turkey relations. Rofer 2009. Nuclear sharing is a throwback of the Cold War. The bombs and deterrents are deterrents to the to the Soviet Union's designs on Europe and a promise to Europe of American involvement in attempts to beat back those designs. There is a sort of don't ask, don't tell to the lack of discussion in those countries. Relations between the U.S. and Turkey have been unsettled in recent years, and U.S. nuclear weapons on Turkish territory, along with Turkey's being in the front line on any attack on Russia or Iran could cause further damage in the relationship. Any accidents in handling these B-61 would cause problems for the relationships of the U.S. while the host countries. Fourth, absent intervention, a nuclear terrorist attack will likely happen by 2013. Smith 2008. The study by the Congress-backed Commission of the Prevention of War of Weapons of Mass Destruction, Proliferation, and Terrorism said that the threat from rogue state and nuclear smuggling rings is now higher than ever. The main hotspot, according to the panel, is now Pakistan. This state became a very big concern because of the network of terror groups and its instability in its nuclear capabilities. We're on a roadmap to terrorism. All roads will intersect in Pakistan. Terrorists will most likely carry out an attack using biological or nuclear weapons somewhere in the world in the next 5 years. Without greater urgency and decisive action by the world community, it is more likely than not that a weapon of mass destruction will be used in a terrorist attack somewhere in the world by the end of 2013. The staff of the panel conducted more than 260 interviews with government officials and experts around the world to establish the current state of the problem. Finally, nuclear terrorism will cause an outbreak of global nuclear exchange. Barrett's 1987. Nuclear terrorism would spark a full-scale war between the states. Such a war could involve the entire spectrum of nuclear conflicts, ranging from a nuclear attack upon a non-nuclear state to system-wide nuclear war. The most likely way would involve terrorist nuclear assault against the state by terrorists hosted in another state. It is certainly conceivable that a chain reaction of interstate nuclear conflict could ensue, one that would ultimately involve the superpowers or even every nuclear weapon on the state of the planet. Scenario B, Iranian proliferation. First, the Obama administration is refusing Iranian officers to negotiate over its nuclear weapon program and is instead focusing on sanctions. Los Angeles Times 2010. Obama reacted coolly to Iranian offers, saying that they intend to press ahead with the proposal for Security Council sanctions. They intend to study the proposal brokered by Turkey that would temporarily remove Tehran's low-enriched uranium. The U.S. and Western officials believe the nuclear program is aimed at developing a nuclear weapon. Iran insists it's pursuing nuclear research for peaceful purposes. We're not stopping our talks at the UN. It will receive an equal amount of uranium enriched to a higher 20% concentration. They suspect that diplomatic efforts were aimed mostly at dividing UN Security Council members and undermining discussions of tougher UN economic sanctions. Second, a lack of tangible progress between the U.S. and Iran makes Israel striking on Iran inevitable. Ben Horn 2009. The United States must curb the Iranian nuclear program or deal with the consequences of its Israeli military strike. A military strike with Iran will be inevitable if the West fails to act quickly. U.S. and Israeli military officials are confident an Israeli strike could deal a significant blow to Iran's programs. The longer Israel waits, the more steps Iran can take to protect its installations. The mullahs understand that the only real challenge to their nuclear ambitions is likely to come from Israel. The UN is no threat. Obama continues to plead for Tehran to negotiate even as Iran holds show trials of opposition leaders. Israeli attack dangerous to U.S. Negotiations could not possibly succeed unless the Iranians really believe that we are prepared to use the military force. An Israeli Israeli strike on Iran would be the most dangerous foreign policy issue President Obama could face. Thus, we offer the following plan. The United States federal government should decrease its military presence by withdrawing all tactical nuclear weapons and related support personnel and equipment in Turkey. Contention 3, solvency. Removing American military presence in the form of tactical nuclear weapons from Turkey prevents Iranian proliferation in 2 ways. First, diplomacy. Turkey could act as a mediator between Iran, the U.S., and Israel, preventing Iranian proliferation. Time Press reports 2009. Turkey will consider serving as a mediator between Iran and the United States. Turkey will weigh any request to serve as a mediator to open dialogue are an important opportunity. Has said it can resolve the standoff over Iran's nuclear program. We can contribute to bringing relations between the 2 countries to such a better place. Turkish officials are working to create better understanding between the United States and Iran, and both sides are pleased with its efforts. Additionally, tactical nuclear weapons in Turkey destroy the Turkish government's ability to act as a diplomatic mediator. Withdrawal strengthens its legitimacy in nuclear issues and discourages overall proliferation. Lemon 2009. Turkey's close proximity to states deemed potentially hostile make Turkey a preferred NATO base for tactical nuclear weapons. Stationing tactical nuclear weapons in Turkey might provoke a preemptive strike upon NATO bases. Turkish parliaments have expressed to NATO the difficulty of explaining to the continued presence of U.S. tactical nuclear weapons on Turkish territory to Muslim and Arab neighbors. There is a fear that they undermine Turkey's clear diplomatic objectives to act as a mediator within the region. Ending nuclear sharing and fully complying with the NPT would act as a powerful example and strengthen Turkey's legitimacy. Efforts toward the Turkish government to play a leading role in elimination of nuclear and other weapons of mass destruction will receive overwhelming public support. Second, the presence of tactical nuclear weapons in Turkey is how Iran justifies its nuclear progress, continuing on its trajectory, guarantees Middle East proliferation. Caribou 2005. Turkey is getting more and more involved in Middle Eastern politics apart from Turkey's attempts to become a facilitator in the Israeli and Palestinian dispute. Turkey finds itself at the core of the developments in Iraq. When Turkish scholars and authorities commented on Iran's nuclear program, their Iranian counterparts point out that the U.S. nuclear weapons are still developing in Turkey. This expression of how Turkey is seen by the Iranian authorities serves as another justification for Iran's ambitions to develop nuclear weapons. Should the Iranian leadership decide to develop nuclear warheads in the years to come, neither the Middle East nor the world will become a safer place. Some other countries in the region, such as Egypt and Saudi Arabia, will follow suit. Countries in other parts of the world may do so as well. Finally, Turkey alone possesses the ability to deter Middle Eastern instability. About 2009. The U.S. considers Turkey as a main base to resolve the region's policy, such as the chronic Israeli-Palestinian conflict.
Finish the sentence.
Turkey's ability to contribute to the solution of the region's problems has quickly increased within the last 10 years.
Cross-X.
Concludes my speech now. Cross-X.
How many TNWs are in Turkey?
90.
Okay. What type of troops guard these TNWs?
What are you saying? What are you asking?
What kinds of troops guard the TNWs? You said related personnel.
They take care of the TNWs.
What kind of troops?
Like people in the military, army.
So they're ground troops?
Yes.
Okay. My next question is, your sovereignty talks about Turkey being a mediator towards Iran and Israel. Is Israel and Iran willing to be mediated?
Yes.
Okay, where in your cards does it state that they're willing to be mediated, and why hasn't this mediation happened yet?
Danaya.
So my next question is, you said, how long has TNWs been in Turkey?
Next question. Okay, it says Turkish officials are working to create a better understanding between the United States and Iran, and both sides are pleased with its efforts.
Both sides, as in Iran and Israel?
Are pleased with its efforts, right?
So then why they say tensions they're pleased with the efforts?
Because this is just happening.
Okay, so how long has TNWs been in Turkey?
Question.
How come your impacts from the homes haven't happened yet?
Because it's starting to happen right now. We're on the brink of it happening. That's why we're trying to change everything before all of our impacts from our harms actually do happen.
Okay, so you're saying that Iran's going to proliferate if TNWs stay in Turkey, right?
Yes.
So, as you stated in your card, TNWs has been in Turkey since the end of the Cold War. Why hasn't this nuclear war happened yet?
Because we're on the brink of a nuclear war right now. It will happen if our plan doesn't get passed.
Why is it so different from now than it was back then when the Cold War happened?
Because people were just like realizing what's going on in Turkey, and now they're really upset about it. So they're
As in
the Turkish
Turkish
and surrounding countries.
Okay. Why, if Iran proliferates, who is in danger? Pretty much.
The entire region?
The entire Middle Eastern region?
The whole world.
The whole world? Okay. Why is the whole world in danger?
Because Iranian proliferation leads to global nuclear war.
So how would this global nuclear war begin? Who would attack who first?
It doesn't matter who attacks who. There's tension, and all they need is a spark to cause
Tension between who?
the countries, Iran and Israel.
Those two? So those two cause the global nuclear war?
Good.
Okay. What kind of sanctions is the U.S. pressuring on Iran?
The U.S. has placed sanctions on.
Well, sanctions are like a restrict from trade. So they're trying to tell them not to trade with Iran. They're trying to tell Turkey not to trade with Iran. But Iran doesn't want to do that because Iran's a neutral country.
Iran's a neutral country?
Yes.
So then how do they have tensions with Israel if they're a neutral
Turkey is
country?
an issue.
Time.
Oh, yeah, that's what I meant.
Can I get prep time, please?
Yep.
Can you just write?
Yep.